You have built the whole damn dream house, metaphorically and in some cases even literally. And you are stuck in the cupboard under the stairs like a gremlin who hasn't seen light in 3 years with the vacuum cleaner and the mop that hasn't been used in a few months. And the only thing keeping you there is your noise and your clutter. This isn't about being overwhelmed, and this isn't about doing more. This is about getting you tuned in to the right frequency, the right things and the right noise. Hey, welcome back to the Moxie Movement. It's been a hot minute since I sat down to chat to you by myself. We have had an epic few weeks. Been back to New Zealand, run the retreat for my clients. You've probably listened to the chat that Johnny and I had about buying the boat. What a wild ride that was. We also have very different memories of it. And also, hopefully, you've listened to the chat where I was talking with Rachel about her journey all through the Moxie world. There's been loads going on here on the podcast and also in our real life too. I'm stuck here at home by myself today while Johnny and Scarlett have headed out with the team from Shark Guardian. They are a super cool charity that you should go and look up that are all about promoting the conservation of sharks and all the reasons behind it. Now, I had hoped for a child that was interested in cute, fluffy animals. I have not got that. I have got a child that's deeply passionate about sharks. Today, they're hoping to see black-tip reef sharks and leopard sharks out at the Phi Phi Islands here in Thailand. Hopefully that goes well because Scarlett's fascinated by this. And this is going to be a really cool opportunity for her to get involved in the education of other people around sharks. And it's going alongside, she's doing a coral propagation, learning about how she can help restore the reefs here, that she's going to help out on a project here on the island, which is super exciting. And also been a little bit challenging because obviously we're not in mainstream school. We're recreating the education experience as parents. And I can really see why mainstream school is the easiest option. You don't have to think, you don't have to navigate how are we keeping their curiosity going, how are we getting them to get interested in different ways of learning. You just outsource that to someone else. I completely understand that on the bad days. On the good days, I'm like, man, this is the best thing we've ever done for her. On the challenging days, this is why school exists, because this is much easier than trying to navigate it by yourself. We flew back to New Zealand end of October to see family and friends, and also to do my annual year-end retreat with my clients, a few guests as well. We do that in Russell, in the Bay of Islands, at the Duke of Marlborough. Epic venue, beautiful spot, great for doing the work in the room and then washing off in the ocean afterwards, anything that you want to let go of. The retreat was incredible. And one of the processes I took them through was thinking about how they have easily and effortlessly created in their head a vision for this life and this business that they want to have. Remember when you got started in business and you were excited and it was all the blue sky thinking? It was like Johnny and I talking about that journey on the rock. It was like, oh, when we bought the boat, we had all these grand plans of all the things that we're going to do, all that exciting blue sky, all that exciting potential and possibility, and then we lose track of that. At the retreat, I wanted to take them through a process that showed that their thoughts become things. And sometimes we jam ourselves up from letting our thoughts become things. Everything that you have ever seen in the world, the device that you're listening to, the shoes that you're wearing on your feet while you've gone for a walk, they were all a thought in somebody's head before they came physical reality. And that's what we mean by thoughts become things. We have to be able to imagine it, create it, dream about it in our thoughts first before we can create it. And we're great at doing that, and we do this really well in our businesses. I took everyone through this incredible visualization, got them imagining their perfect dream house with all the great furnishings, with all the rooms that you've ever wanted. If you're a bookworm, library from heaven, media room, spa, pool, puzzle room, man shed for the man out the back, everything that you ever desired, gardens the way you wanted them, views the way you wanted them. They had this stunning home that they were living. And then I asked them to open the cupboard under the stairs where the vacuum cleaner lives and the broom and the mop and all the cleaning supplies. And in there was their bed and their stuff. Because this is what we do. We have these big dreams, we have these big ideas, and then we keep ourselves playing small. And the moment that they opened that door and looked in and went, cupboard, my bed, me jammed in amongst the clutter and the noise and everything going on, there was this penny drop moment when they realized, I'm doing that. I'm doing that in my life, and I'm doing that in my business. I have all of this potential and all of this possibility that I could be living in, and I'm choosing to live under the stairs. We don't want to live in the metaphorical broom closet. We want to step out of that and live in that beautiful dream home. And the way that we do that is by getting past the noise and the clutter that exists in our lives. That's what the noise does. It really shrinks your world down to what keeps you stuck. You think about what's flashing up on the news media, you think about what's flashing up on your Instagram feed or your Facebook feed. None of it, or very little of it, is there to make your world, your life, your relationships, your business more expansive. It's noise that keeps you stuck doing the same thing over and over again, or worse still, taking actions in alignment with what someone else is telling you that the truth of this world is. This noise that you're constantly tuned into, whether it's industry noise that you're in, the emails that you're signed up to, the news media, the family and friends that you hang out with that yap on about the economy all the time and how hard it is right now, it shrinks your world. It shrinks your world down, and it has you taking action in alignment with that view of the world. It becomes reality. When we say things long enough and loud enough, we start acting in alignment with them. Basically, your recession is a self-fulfilling prophecy of all of society shouting about how bad it is. It's a tough market out there right now, the economy. I absolutely get that there is external environmental stuff going on. And when the economy's good and things are booming and your business is booming and you're killing it and having record sales months and biggest profit you've ever made, are you going to go, yeah, it was just the economy did it? That's not what happens. It's never what happens. When things are good, you totally take credit. When things are bad, you look for reasons to excuse you from things not doing well, and that's the noise. When you listen to that and take action in alignment with that, that's what you end up with. And we've got to get beyond that if you want to have a bigger, better version of life and business for you and your kids and maybe your future grandkids or the community that you live in or the team, the employees and contractors that rely on you for your income. We've got to get past this noise that keeps our filters on, keeps our blinders on the wrong things. What happens is all of that noise is convincing you that's all that's possible. That's all that you can handle. That's all that you could possibly do in the current environment. And that's not true. That's just clutter. That's just noise keeping you in the cupboard. You have the possibility right there. You've thought it, you've dreamed it, you've planned it. You just have to go and claim it. You just have to go and start taking action towards it and get rid of all the noise. It's really important that we think about ourselves like a radio. We want to tune into the signal, and you decide what the signal is. It's not what everybody else tells you it needs to be, it's what you decide the signal is. If you're tuned into everybody else's stations, you've got 6 stations coming in at the same time, you lose your frequency. You've got all of the kids' stuff. Mum, where are my shoes? Where was my permission slip? Oh my God, can you help me out with Secret Santa shopping? Emails that you know are sitting in your inbox, whether there's 10 of them, 100 of them, or 30,000 of them, that you are like, I'll come back to this later, are all noise, all different stations pulling your brain bandwidth in different ways. You're not tuned in. You're doing it online. You're scrolling through stuff and seeing things and having that tune come in. You can't tune into the picture that you want for your life. This is really blurring your clarity. When you sit and you focus and you decide what you want, you have complete clarity. And then you go out into the real world where you've got a mum and you've got a business and you've got to lead people and you've got a partner. You lose all of that clarity because everything else is shouting for your attention. The number one frequency killer, the number one thing I see for women in business as a killer of that tuned in frequency, dialed into the right signal, is unmade decisions. is because they've got a truckload of unmade decisions. Overwhelm doesn't come from doing too much. Overwhelm actually comes from an abundance of choice and opportunities, and therefore the number of decisions that you have to make on a day-by-day, week-by-week, month-by-month basis. You will never find someone who is very much living in a just getting by world, and that's none of us. That's people subsistence living on a farm in Thailand or Ethiopia, or pick any of the developing nations around the world. That is, none of those people will ever have overwhelm. Versus you and I, we live in a world where the choices are endless. And overwhelm comes when you circle the same decisions over and over again. It's like a merry-go-round for decisions. Things like emails. Think about how many emails you open, read, and then decide to deal with it later. Open loop, unmade decision. And your brain knows it. Now, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, your brain knows that you've got to come back and deal with that later. There's a weight there of that unmade decision. Every time you go, I'll think about it later, I'll do it later, instead of making a decision in the moment that's aligned with where you're trying to go, the harder this gets. Think the junk drawer in your kitchen, if you have one, or the junk bowl. Think that spare room where all of your stuff gets dumped because you'll deal with it later. Think of all the kids' clothes that they've grown out of that you haven't dealt with. Think of your emails. You might even have a whole folder in your emails that says to sort later, to read later. You might have files on your computer, screenshots on your photo, things that you're coming back to later. Every single one of those is an open loop, and it's making you exhausted. It takes up way too much energy to have 300,000 open loops in your brain of all the things that you're going to do later than it does to just delete it, decide or delegate it, and get on and move on. The decision is made. You don't need a whole lot of time off. Someone said to me the other day, can I just go into coma for 3 months? No, you can't. Unfortunately, as parents and partners and business owners, that's not an option. And if it does happen, it's generally not for a good reason. You don't need an enforced break like that. You just need to decide and move on. Most of these decisions are not fatal. Unsubscribing from the subscription list that you don't actually need, that you're just comparing yourself to the competition about how little you do or don't do, hit unsubscribe. Here's the thing. Doing really simple things like deleting all those photos on your phone or deleting that folder on your email inbox will give you much more space and energy and feel more energized than a freaking bubble bath for half an hour with the door locked and the kids banging down on it. We don't need a bubble bath, journaling prompts, and some magnesium spray. You need to get rid of the noise that's keeping you frantic inside your business. Most of us have these by the time we get to this time of the year. We're rolling into the end of the year, and even if you're really good at doing a clean sweep at the end of every year, and if you don't have that as a habit, I recommend you get one and get started on it in 2025. So here's what I want you to do right now. You have got some really simple things you can do right now that will make you feel lighter. It's unfollowing the people that you're comparing yourself to on the internet. It's deleting the emails you said you were going to come back to, but you haven't. Truthfully, if you've not done anything with them in the last 12 months, you're unlikely to. Hit delete. Old files, oh my goodness, we had so many old files hanging around from the rock from years ago. Marketing photos and brochures and campaigns that we'd done, we're never going to use them again. The brand's changed. The way that marketing done has dramatically moved on. Hitting delete on that old stuff you don't need anymore is like a breath of fresh air. Grab a pen and paper, open your notes app on your phone and go, where have I got unmade decisions looping? It will likely be in your notifications. It will be in the state of your desk. All those bits of paper you said you were going to do something with. It might be files that you have. It might be you have a junk drawer in your house or maybe even in your business, a dumping zone. Where are the things that you look at and you go, oh, I've got to come back to that and sort it out? Those are the things that are keeping you tired. Those are the things that are keeping you stuck in the junk drawer. And whether it's your life personally or in the business, it's really important that you clear it out. Delete it, decide and do something with it, say yes or say no through your filters. You've hung out here any length of time at all. You know that we're all about deciding what our filters are and only saying yes to the things that meet them, whether those be your highest life priorities or your business's vision or your critical success factors. Everything else goes in the no pile. Or delegate it, outsource it, give it to someone else who can do it for you, whether that be organising files, an admin team member. God, even your teenagers that are home for the holidays that want to earn a little bit of extra cash could probably help you organise and delete old files on your computer. And then get yourself a ritual that makes sure that this doesn't happen again. Your phone is full of screenshots as well as the cute photos of your kids and experiences that you've had. But the problem with that is that all those screenshots are unmade decisions. Something I said I was going to do with, my subconscious is holding on to, that's something we have to deal with later on, versus if I did something with it straight away or deleted it or asked someone else to do something with it, it would be sorted and done. Figure out what you're deleting and then build yourself a framework, a ritual or a routine that means that doesn't happen again. Whether that be week by week, that you're deleting shit off your phone, or that be month by month. It could be old messages, text messages, WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram. You're hoarding all of these things and you don't need to keep them. Contacts that you don't need anymore on your phones. There are many things you can get rid of right now that will clear up the noise and get you out of the broom cupboard. And here's the thing, this isn't about perfection, this is about progress. If you're like, oh, but Sarah, what if I need it? Truthfully, it will come back around again. If you unsubscribe from someone's newsletter, it'll be there again. You can resubscribe. If you unfollow someone on the internet, they'll still be there. You can go and follow them again. If they come up in your world again in 2026 and you're like, that's valuable and helpful, great. But if it's not, get out. Because 90 seconds of deleting things, deciding, removing them from your life is going to save easily for everyone that you do. Every 90 seconds you spend deleting something or delegating it or making a decision about it is going to save you at least 90 minutes of stress and overwhelm further down the track. You will be amazed how much lighter you feel just doing this really simple process, because we don't want to let the noise of the world keep us in the broom cupboard. We want to say, I'm deliberate about what my inputs are, what noise is coming in to influence me, because I know that those influences are going to decide how much action or inaction I take in my business and my life, in my partnerships and my parenting. This isn't about becoming a whole new person. This isn't about finding more time. This isn't about going off grid and living in the forest and never talking to another human again. You need to decide more. Make decisions quickly, cleanly, because overwhelm ends the moment you begin choosing. Clarity shows up when you decide to make decisions rather than waiting for clarity to show up so you can make decisions. You're doing it backwards. You've got the clarity. You know what you want to build. Stop letting everybody else's noise derail you. Get out from under the stairs and come and live in all of the possibilities that you know you and your business and your family are meant to have. If you want to finish 2025 strong, your job is to close some open loops, not open more, and make sure that you are only keeping open the loops that point you in the direction of what you want for yourself, your kids, your partner, and your team, both today and out into the future. Till next time, stay moxie.